Hi guys, a little update on my status or progress with the program, the Art of Speaking of Academy that I signed up. This is my fourth week now, and this has been really helpful for me. The first week we learned about like taking the front row seat, and what that means is that when you're doing anything, like you're going in a meeting, you're doing an activity, take the front row seat, because when you make that conscious decision to take the front row seat, you're going to be more engaged and more alert and more active, and like so that it's better for your learning and better for your interactions, as opposed to sitting and taking the back seat. So I thought that was really helpful because I've been walking around at work just like taking the front row seat. So what that means was like when I'm getting in meeting, instead of like sitting in the back, I'm like sitting in the center, like in the front. And that way I'm more engaged and I'm more alert and more conscious of what I'm there to contribute. So, and that has helped like build the internal confidence within and allow me to present myself, like take a seat, take space, take up space. It's okay to express myself. It's okay to see me. So I think that's been really helpful. The other thing was we also learned this concept of Tao 2.0. So like basically you are here where you are, like this version of you is a version 1.0, and you want to imagine a better version of yourself, like what you would want to be if you were confident and if you wanted to have everything you wanted. What does that version of you look like? And you can call her, Dr. Tao, or Amazing Tao, or Tao 10.0, or whatever. But there is you label it a name, right? It's another version of you. It's the best version of you. And whenever you are doing like going in meetings and things like that, like you can act from a place of that version of yourself. So you would ask like, okay, what would the best version of me do in this scenario? Or like what decision how would she make? How would she act? How would she be? What would she say? um, as opposed to acting from your current place, because your current place is like inhibiting you from growing, and it's not like, it might be fearful, right? And then you might act out of fear. But if you imagine your best self, your fearless self, and how she would act, then you would take actions that more aligned with what you want to be, and who you know yourself to be. Yeah. So I've been doing that as well, and that's really helping me a lot. And then another things I learned was like the inner critic. We have this voice and this inner critic in our head that just telling us how we're wrong about things, and just like putting us down, and like making us scared, making us fearful, like holding us back. Like it say things to protect us, but at the same time it's not helpful, because it might keep us in a comfortable place that we don't take actions in a way that align with our values and like help us grow. So I realized once I realized about this inner critic, because growing up I have this inner critic all the time, like as long as I could remember. I think ever since I was like maybe second, third grade, and it just follows me everywhere. But I always thought that this inner critic is actually my friend. Like it's it's someone who's like trying to look out, doing the best thing for me. Like it's being critical because it wants me to get better. What I didn't realize is that like over the years I've listened to this inner critic so much, thinking that it's my friend and like it's there to help me get better. But I'm finally learning that that inner critic has actually, because of the harshness that it can bring sometimes, like it has actually inhibit me and held me back, and like in some sense also keep me in this low self-esteem, self-confidence place. And I'm trapped in there, and I would always try and like listen to it and like try to like take actions, I'm trying to break out of that mold and that little prison I put myself in, but it just doesn't work. And then now that I identify this inner critic is something that I don't have to listen to, and not everything is said is true. Actually, a lot of the time the thing is said is quite harsh. And so I can learn to like distance myself from it, and then that will help with like and then that will help me detach from it and then allow me to take actions that I need to take and not pull back. So I thought that was like really, really important, like really critical. So now when I recognize that inner critic, I like try to silence it, but not, I just like, oh, thank you. But, it's okay. We can move forward with this. Or I recognize it and I console myself instead in a positive way, as opposed to basically the opposite of what is the inner critic is telling me. And I just don't have to listen to that voice. And I just basically learn to have a lot more self-compassion and self-love, and take care of my needs for what I need at the moment, and then take actions from there. So I think that has been super helpful to me too. And so those are the things that I'm learning. And in this last week, as we were having our discussions about seeing gray trees and green trees, essentially it's like, how do we look at the world? Are we looking at it seeing mostly negative things or positive things, or are we seeing a balance of both? But through this discussion, I came to the realizations that I have so much to work on with regards to my self-worth and self-esteem, that I realized that is the thing that has been holding me back so much. And that's why I wanted to sign up for the Art of Speaking Up Academy, is to learn to be comfortable with using my voice and to express myself, what is here, what is true to me, and also aligning my actions to what I want. And yeah, and I realized that that's the area that I need to work on a lot. So I have taken actions towards that, and I'll let you know. I started going to the gym to work on, because I have a version of like how I want myself to look, and that version required me to look healthy and happy, so strong and fit. And so I've signed up to go work out and build my physical strength so that I can handle all the emotions and all the things that's about to come as I change, right? And that as I expand and grow myself. Another thing I also signed up for is therapy. I did not know I needed therapy. I mean, I guess I know when I was younger, but we just didn't have the money. And even those when I was working in my 20s and my 30s, I wasn't making much to like able to give myself the gift of therapy. But I'm hitting a wall now that like I need it so bad that this is the options, and I'm recognize how important it is for me to have this. This is part of self-care, right? So yeah, I signed up and I had my first session, and it's like so amazing. I wish I had done that way sooner. So if you're watching this and you're listening and you think you could use therapy for any area in your life, please just go do it, because I done it and I realized like I wish I have done this sooner. It would have saved me decades of headache, and maybe I would be in a different place than I am now. But we don't know, right? But at least you feel better. Like, so just go get help if you need it, okay? Don't let that hold you back. Don't let the money hold you back either, because now you gotta learn to like, and I'm learning to invest in myself more than all the things around me. So yeah, so that's part of self-care and part of being on this journey. Those are the actions I've taken, and I think they're helping me a lot already. This week I do feel little regressions. Probably that's why you can see it in my energy, like there's still hesitation in me, but that's because part of my brain is still there's some right now that I'm working through, and that's why I want to make this video and just talk to you about it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna work through it, and then when I come out the other end, I'll share it with you. But do know that this week is hard for me. I feel like I'm regressing. Like I made progress, but then part of my body and part of my brain just want to pull me back to like the comfort space that I've been in the last 30, 40 years of my life. And so it's hard to break out of that cycle, and I recognize it, but I am, pulling myself away from that. Yeah, and I just thought I'd talk about it here with you because who else am I gonna say it to? Thank you so much for listening and for being on this journey with me. That is all. I hope you have a good week, and I will see you next time. All right, bye. Also, I love you, Tao. Mwah.